Hey, what's up guys? What's up guys? Kevin here. Welcome to the Friday live chat with Snowboardprocamp. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Gonna be on here for about the next hour to answer all your snowboard questions. So definitely hit me up with any questions you have and let me know where you guys are watching from as well. Hope you guys have had some good days snowboarding. We just got back from a trip to Revelstoke. Was there for a week. Had a great time with TJ, with Chris, with Andreas, with Yannick and Rav, and met a bunch of fans of the channel out in Revelstoke as well. So that was pretty cool. So today I'm actually here in Vancouver. We down in Vancouver in the city for the day, and so yeah, day off of snowboarding, but gonna be back in Whistler this weekend. But yeah, let's just see who's on the chat here. We got, oh, and there's a train behind me. I'm sure that won't interfere with anything. We got Adam Bad Riders on here. Easy Gaming. Jade says hello from China. And Jen. We got Sam on here. Chad, what's up, man? Have a good night snowboarding, dude. Chad says he's heading to Snoqualmie tonight. Awesome, dude. Cod is watching from Norway. We got Old Man Shredder on here. Old Man Shredder, man, good job on your backflip online there. That was really cool on your video. Just checking out your backflip videos. Some people are asking Engine a few questions. Just gonna scroll down a little bit. All right, so we got Adam watching. We got Wojciech watching from Chicago. Aiden wants some tips for hitting rails. Definitely check out some of the videos. Made a few videos on hitting rails, but I think like the biggest tip is like for your first rail, you know, you want to start as easy as possible, but even on those like really easy rails, it can be intimidating. So sometimes if I'm hitting a rail for the first time, I like overcommit. So I almost know that I'm gonna go over the rail. I'm not gonna like land right on top of it, which if you do that a few times, each time you go through, and if you like ollie onto the rail but you overcommit and you come off the other side, then that kind of gives you the confidence boost to like hit it a little bit, like try to land on it a little bit more the next time. And if you do that time after time and just kind of practice landing on top of each time, then eventually you'll get the confidence to really go for it. And once your confidence is built, then you can decide that you're gonna land on the rail, stay on it all the way to the end. But yeah, those first couple, just like overcommit until you're ready. And we got Brendan watching from Jackson Hole. Awesome, man. Yeah, had a great time in Jackson Hole. Can't wait to get back there. Martin's watching from Squamish. Awesome. If you guys don't know, Squamish is not too far from Whistler. We got Robbie. What's up, Robbie? Haley. West Key watching from Norway. Awesome, guys. Just gonna scroll down a little bit. Sorry if I miss any of the questions. Gonna try to get to as many as possible. And we got Old Man Shredder with the first super chat. Thanks so much for the support, man. He says powder day tomorrow. You, awesome, man. Yeah, that's good to hear that there's still powder. There's still powder out there. I feel like in the city right now it's pretty warm. Like spring is in the air, but winter is holding on in some places. Daniela is watching from Mexico. And Fred McHugh says, sending some healing vibes to David Jones. Yeah, if you guys haven't yet, check out David Jones's YouTube channel. He does snowboard content as well. And yeah, he's had some knee problems the last like 6 months, and he just had ACL surgery. So yeah, wishing David a speedy recovery. But yeah, if you guys want to go show him some love, his YouTube channel is David S. Jones. And yeah, subscribe to him. He's got a bunch of videos on his channel too from when we were in Japan snowboarding. He was on that trip with us. And yeah, he makes like amazing videos. They're hilarious, and some of them are like kind of like mock tutorials, but they're really fun to watch. And yeah, he's awesome, and I hope his knee's good and he's back snowboarding. I think he's got about 9 months off, but hopefully he'll be better than ever after that. We got Bree watching from Pennsylvania, Wes Key from Norway, It's Rex is watching from Colorado, Sidnick from Belgium. Awesome, thanks so much, guys. I think we got a few more super chats. Ryan Wakelum 46 with the 279 super chat. Thanks, man. He says, hello from British Columbia, Canada. Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm in Vancouver, BC at the moment, man. What town or city are you living in? Thanks for the support, man. Area watching from Romania. It's amazing, people watching from all over the world. Nam says, Kevin. Thanks, man. Nothing wants to know, can we do some Minnesota snowboarding? It would be pretty cool to visit Minnesota and hit up some of the resorts there. I know there's like that famous one, Trollhagen, where they have all the cool rails and some amazing edits come out of Trollhagen. And yeah, it'd be cool to get onto a tow rope, but I feel like we have lots of tow rope riding coming up with our summer snowboarding session. So, but yeah, it would be cool to make it out to Minnesota. I know that the house guys, the house is based out in Minnesota too, so it'd be cool to meet up with them. And we got Fleeting 40s with the super chat, no question or comment. Thanks for the support. For the Dub says, what is the absolute first thing I should do the first time I get on the slopes, my first day snowboarding? I'm brand new and I've been watching you for so long, just haven't had the chance to ride yet. Well, thanks for watching. I think like the very first thing you want to do is actually, you know, go, if you can, go out with a friend, go out with somebody that can, you know, give you a hand from time to time when learning. But, you know, just strap in one foot, practice skating around with one foot for a while. Then when you're ready, yeah, find that like really mellow, small slope where you can just get the heel sliding down, some toe sliding, and just practice that lots. And it kind of depends on your own, kind of like how you progress. That may be day one, or you may want to take it farther. And then after that, you can start trying to link some turns. But yeah, check out the beginner videos, and the biggest thing is just to go at your own pace. Like you don't have to like speed through the process of learning. It took me like 3 days, I think, to get my turns going. So yeah, just work at it in steps and take your time. And the number one thing is just doing it in a way that you can come back, so that after a day of riding, you're not like overly sore. So like pace yourself at the start so that you can come back every day and just keep progressing. All right, so Brandon says, hey Kevin, how's my new setup? Finally upgraded from my 11-year-old carbon high beam. Got the T-Rise Pro, Union Stratas, 32 lashed. Awesome setup, man, I love it. Yeah, really good. Yeah, perfect setup. It's gonna be like, this is good for, it's like a good board and setup for everything. All right, so we got NGen with the super chat. Thanks, NGen, man. Shout out to all the guys from DeWeek Camber podcast. DeWeek Camber podcast. Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out. What does DeWeek Camber podcast mean? It's an interesting name. Okay, I'll definitely have to check that out, NGen. Thanks for the, yeah, awesome shout out. Shout out to those guys. So David says, watching from Washington, favorite runs, powder tree runs or groomed? Definitely powder trees. Powder trees, I think you can't really beat it. Groomed is fun at times as well, but powder's where it's at. And we got Carrie on here. What's up, Carrie? Nice to see you. And we got Tony watching from New York and Ryan watching from New York as well. Awesome, guys. All right, so Justin John with the $20 super chat. Thanks so much for the support, Justin. He says, Keep it up. No joke on the rails. I ate it hard in Breckenridge. Sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, man, in the park you can definitely eat it once in a while. So sorry to hear that you ate it on a rail. You gotta, but yeah, get back out there, hopefully, man. And I hope there's no injuries. It's just a bad fall. But thanks so much for the support, dude. And would love to get down to Breckenridge again. Love that place. Out there with Ryan Napton's at Breckenridge. So awesome resort. Colorado is a cool state. Yeah, thanks for the support, man. The Steph Man, hey, help from Ontario. Yep, the poor guy and the knee. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but shout out to Ontario. Braby from Denmark says, what's the angle on your bindings? So my binding angles, I usually do on a park day, I'll do 15 in the front, negative 15 in the back. And then on a free ride day, like all mountain riding, powder, I'll do 15 in the front and maybe negative 9 in the back, because I know I'll be riding less switch. And we got Michael watching from New York. Tips for learning to butter on stiffer boards. My board is stiffer in the back. When I try to start to butter, leaning towards the tail, I just can't seem to flex it well. I'm a noob. Yeah, Michael, don't worry about being a noob, man. I would say with a stiff board, it is difficult. It's just difficult to flex a stiffer board. You know, you can put your weight into it, but don't exert yourself too much. But I think the best thing for butters is just moving, you know, thinking about your hips and where your center of gravity is, and the majority of your weight, and then moving that as far out over your tail as you can. But don't exert it too much. If you feel like you're exerting just way too much effort and it's not bending, then just try to trade it in for a softer board. And we got Jao watching from Portugal. Thanks for tuning in. Christian, what is your thoughts on crash pants with G-foam? I think it's G-form. Are you still using them? I tried to pair this season after a huge crash. First time using them, and landed flat on my ass going over a red jump. I think they're great. Yeah, when I'm in the park and I'm wearing the crash pants, it's kind of funny. It's like one of those things. When you're wearing the safety gear, you never tend to use it. And I had a bad fall like 2 years ago where I landed on my tailbone. Wasn't wearing the crash pants, and I picked up a pair of the G-form crash pants by Burton, and every time that I've worn them in the park, I don't think I've hit my tailbone yet, but maybe it's that confidence from wearing them has made me not fall. So yeah, I think they've been great, but to be honest, I haven't actually used them. Dylan says, what's up from New Zealand? You may be the only one. Northbound says there's so many places to snowboard in Norway. For sure. Would love to make it out there. Julian says, love all your videos. Watching in London, UK. Awesome. Can't wait to put it all into practice on my trip to France, Three Valleys at the end of the month. Very cool. Yeah, we'd love to get out to France, to the Three Valleys as well. Mateus is watching from Poland. Krusty from Connecticut. Awesome, guys. Just gonna scroll down a little bit. Just trying to get to as many questions. Don't want to get too far behind. Vibe with the super chat. Awesome, thanks for the support, Vibe. $6. They say, hey man, I'm finally able to S-turn and I've gotten much faster and in control thanks to your videos. Awesome, that's great to hear. Yeah, that's, you know, once you get those S-turns going, I feel like the progression becomes like so much faster too. It's like the first steps of like leading up to S-turning can be difficult, but now that you've got it, you're just gonna be progressing so fast. So that's awesome to hear. Really glad that the videos helped you out. G says, Mount Hood or New Zealand for a week. Oh wow, that's a tough call. If I can only pick one for 1 week, I think Man, I love Mount Hood. Yeah, Mount Hood is pretty cool. Dang. Yeah, Mount Hood is pretty fun. I don't know. I love New Zealand. I love them both, to be honest. They're both amazing. If I can only pick one though, I'd pick Mount Hood. It depends on when though, because say Mount Hood at the best in its prime, like say early July, like end of June, first week of July with the High Cascade Camp. 1 week of that is pretty amazing. And then in New Zealand, I think it's a little bit weather dependent, but New Zealand is awesome too. So depending on when you could go, like if you go early enough at Mount Hood, then the snow's still gonna be good. But if you have to go later, like I wouldn't go there. I wouldn't go to Mount Hood in August. It's too warm. But yeah, New Zealand's good too, but I feel like if I can only do one, I would do Mount Hood for a week. Awesome guys, thanks everyone for tuning in. Yeah, so another question about Mount Hood. Simi Tam, awesome name. When are you coming to Timberline? No plans at the moment, but we'll be back at Timberline at some point, maybe June or July or both. And we got Old Man Shredder says, it's a secret if we tell you it's a secret if we tell you, we have to kill you. Okay, I bet the podcast. All right, so something to do with Old Man Shredder and NGen, of some kind of secret podcast happening. All right, very cool. Arfo says, Kevin, you are the most polite and patient dude on YouTube. Seriously, that's why you're a good teacher. Awesome, thanks man. Yeah. I'm just trying to be me, so I think this is how I am most of the time. Brian P, hey Kev, watching from Gig Harbor, Washington. Awesome. Mike Gray says, Union versus Burton Binding, what's your preference? I like them both. I think my preference at the moment is Union, just as long as I have the right ankle straps. Like ankle straps are important, so across all of the Union and Burton lineup, there are some straps that are better than others. So for me, I like the higher end straps, the ones that are like really like 3D molded to your ankle. I feel like those are a must. You get the straps that are a bit too like wide and just kind of like sit on your ankle, it can kind of throw off your riding. So I like the ankle straps that are 3D molded. And at the moment, I'm liking the Union Atlas. Those have been my favorite. All right, let's give you guys some. It's very sunny where I'm at, if you can't tell. All right, just gonna scroll down a little bit. Thanks for all the questions, guys. We got Roy Forrest with the $9.99 super chat. Thanks for the support. He says, hi Kevin, sending a shout out from New York City. Contemplating Japan in 2020. Which would you recommend for a strong intermediate rider? Niseko or Rizutsu? Oh wow. Man, that's tough. Both are great, to be honest. I can't recommend one over the other. Yeah, that's tough. I don't know. I think if I could only ride one, I would ride Niseko. There's also more stuff, like more around Niseko if you're like looking up a place to stay. But if you can, do both. Like I think Rizutsu is it's like less than an hour away from Niseko, so you can do both. But my preference is Niseko because there's a bit more of a variety. But Rizutsu had the best trees. So yeah, that's a tough question. But dude, yeah, definitely get out to Japan. It's a dream. It's incredible. Go in January if you can. That's when they're supposed to have the best snow. I am Japanese says good morning. Yeah, good morning over in Japan. Awesome. Yeah, Shout out to everyone in Europe for staying up so late, and everyone on the other side of the world, good morning. And everyone in North America, I feel like it's about dinner time. So thank you guys all for tuning in. Ooh, so S. Victor says, Kevin, when is your next batch of Snowboard Pro Camp stickers coming out? Yeah, so I think they're actually coming out tomorrow, but I do have a new shipment of Snowboard Pro Camp beanies up for sale. So I've got a link in the description right at the top to where you can pick up Snowboard Pro Camp beanies. I know we got some back in the fall. I think we got 200 beanies in the fall, and then here in Canada, the Canada Post went on strike, which kind of messed things up with the shipping. But we got 200 more beanies in, and these ones, they're like a little bit thicker, just a little bit more for winter, just slightly more thicker than the last batch of beanies, but just got 200 beanies back in, and just put them up on sale, I think 2 or 3 days ago, and we've already had 20 or something sold. So if you guys want to check out some Snowboard Pro Camp beanies, we got the links right at the top of the description if you guys want to check those out. And we're gonna have some more Snowboard Pro Camp stickers coming out soon too. Yeah, my wife Jill, she's helping me with the shipping and ordering and everything like that, because it's quite a lot of work, like just organizing all that stuff. But my wife Jill, she's gonna be on top of it, and I think she's already had one shipment sent out. So she's already sent out like 7 or 8 beanies to people that ordered. So yeah, if you guys want to check a Snowboard Pro Camp beanie out, down in the description, guys. And we got Charles Van Villet from New South Wales, Australia. Hooray! Awesome, man. And Julian says, do you have a favorite brand of snowboard gear to wear? 686, Battalion, Burton. I'd have to say my favorite to wear has been either Volcom or Dakine. Dakine pants have been my favorite. The bib pants I had last year were super solid. And the jacket that I'm wearing at the moment, I'm really happy with. It is the Volcom L jacket. Yeah, I'm not sure why they call it that, but it's like light, it's comfortable, it's Gore-Tex, so checks all the boxes for me. So I think that's the best thing to look for when looking for outerwear, is you want it to be light, waterproof, and something that when you're moving in it while you snowboard, you just feel really like free and light. Those are the things you want to look for. And we got Jordan Short watching from Toronto, going to Mount Tremblant snowboarding in Quebec. Awesome, man. Yeah, that was like my first ever road trip, like ski trip, was to Mount Tremblant. Really cool place in Quebec. And David B says, Kevin, you convinced me on getting the Oakley line miners. So hyped on them. Oh, you hyped them up so much I couldn't resist. Nice, David. Yeah, I think you're gonna like them. Like, you can't go wrong with Oakley line miners. They're just, you know, the best kind of goggles are the ones that you don't even notice you're wearing. And honestly, like when I'm wearing those goggles, it's like I can barely see the frame. They fit so well, they're comfortable. Only good things to say about those. And we got Rambo John J watching from Atlanta. Benjamin, what's up, man? Jordan Simmer, new rider. Would the width of the Twin Pig give me problems if I eventually switch back to normal size board? No, it's not gonna give you any problems. I feel like with the wider boards, it's they give you some advantages and there are some disadvantages. It's not as quick edge to edge, but there's advantages to it as well, like riding through slush, riding in powder, so you get some advantages there. So I feel like when you switch back to a regular width board, yeah, you're gonna have some pluses and minuses. You may lose a bit of like float and powder, or the ability to really get over on a carve, you know, when you're carving and you get your edge way over on a regular width board, sometimes you can kind of like clip your toes or clip your heels. So that won't happen on a wider board. So yeah, I think there's always pluses and minuses with all that kind of stuff. And Guo Kai with the $9.99 super chat, thanks for the support. And he says, thanks for sharing. Awesome. Yeah, my pleasure. That's what it's all about. Just getting more people out snowboarding, trying to give you guys just putting out content that I think you guys will either find helpful or entertaining or anything. So thanks for checking it out, man. Thanks for the support. And Arfo says, Kevin, is it necessary to wear back shield protection while doing park jumps? It's not necessary. I've never done it, but I know that a lot of people do wear back protection. So I think it's definitely a good idea. You can't go wrong wearing more protection. So if you're feeling like you want to, I would say go for it. I don't. I think a lot of people don't. I think I probably would. Maybe I'll probably look into maybe picking something up because, you know, it's better to be safe than not safe. And Heymith Mata says, what settings on the board do you recommend for beginners? So for a beginner, you want to start, honestly, so you want to set your stance. So the width is a little bit more than shoulder width, kind of what's comfortable to you. There'll be some markings on your board to kind of give you some kind of idea of where to set your bindings for the first time. But then the angles, you want to have like a duck stance. So I would normally do maybe like a +15 in the front, a -12 in the back, or -9 in the back. And then your binding should actually be closer to the tail of your board. So with a little bit towards the tail, making the tail smaller will actually make turning easier. So if you can move your bindings back a little bit, and then when you get to the resort, you can even like ask people that work there, or ask the rental person, or just ask somebody if it looks right. Just say like, does this look right to you? And that's like a good way to do it. But there's also some videos on the channel if you want to check those out, where I go through setting up your board for the first time. So check that out as well. All right. MH says, I have 10.5 boots. Should I get a wide headspace? Honestly, with 10.5 boots, I think you should be fine with a regular width board. Yeah. So I have size 10 boots, and I have no issues with the regular width board. So I don't think you need a wide. I'd say if you had an 11, I would get wide, but 10.5, I think you're good. And we got, so Guo is watching from California. Julian is watching from Germany. And Red Fox is snowboarding in his garden in Norway. Awesome. Cod says, what are your thoughts on Flo Bindings? Yeah, I get this quite often. Honestly, I think Flo Bindings, the issue is that you have to strap into them with being on your knees. So if you find yourself in a situation, if you're sitting on like a steep slope, you have to like get onto your knees to put your bindings in. So that's one issue. And then the other issue is that if it's a powder day and you get some snow in your in those bindings, it can be hard to like get the Flo like rear entry setup done up. And I've seen, when I was teaching snowboarding, I would see like people running into that problem quite regularly when I was teaching. So those are the issues. I think the standard heel, ankle, toe straps are fine. So, and Artie's watching from New Hampshire. Awesome. And Michael from Melbourne, Australia. What's up, Melbourne? I love Melbourne. And Anonymous is from Melbourne as well, from Straya. Julian's watching from Munich. Mason says, have you ever rode a Donic? Never have. If you guys don't know, Donic is the wide like carving board that Ryan Napton rides. I think they like specialize in like racing boards and things like that. So I haven't had the chance to ride one, but if I get down to Colorado with Ryan Napton, check out his YouTube channel as well. Yeah, I'll definitely be trying one out. And we got Logan Hanlon with the super chat, $1 Canadian. Thanks for the support, Logan. Zach says he loves watching the live streams. Awesome, man. Thanks for tuning in, Zach. Um, 100 miles per hour films. Ian says, hi, Kevin. Do you have a warm-up regime before you hit the slopes? I'm off to St. Anton, Austria from Scotland in 2 weeks. Cheers, Ian. I don't have one that I really stick to well, but I try to do, you know, like 15-20 minutes of like a stretching warm-up before I hit the slopes. I think it's like a good thing to like either do some yoga or do some stretching. Just like moving around like that really helps you to just get prepared for the day, and even afterwards as well. So before and after, doing some kind of like stretching and recovery thing, I think really helps, especially for park riding. Like, I think I can get away with it if it's just a day of riding on the mountain or if I'm cruising, but in the park, definitely doing some stretching and things like that really help. And we got Nick Brown heading to Whistler on the weekend. Any area you'd say is a must? Yeah, if you're just coming up for the weekend, definitely check out Whistler Peak, go over to Blackcomb, head up like the Glacier Chair and Seventh Heaven. You know, if your skills are up there, I would just say try to get as high on the mountain as you can and just do some exploring, check out some of the runs. It's pretty cool up there for sure. Keelan says, how is Revy? Any chance ever come ride Big White? Yeah, I would like to check out Big White sometime. Revy was a very steep mountain. I would say that Revy is like the steepest mountain I've ever hit. It was like really tall, very steep, and yeah, I would like to get back out there. There was no snow while I was there, so we were just getting our split boards and going into the side country, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I would love to get back out there, and at the moment, no plans to get out to Big White, but would love to check out Big White at some point. And we got David B, Union Strata or Atlas. I would say Strata's for park, Atlas for all mountain. And G says, have you seen the new T-Rice Pro graphic? I have not, but yeah, I'm interested to check it out for sure. I've seen the new Orchid graphic. It looks pretty cool. Very similar to the top sheet on the Orca is very similar to the base of the Orca at the moment. So it looks pretty nice. And we got the Emperors on here, $4.99 super chat. He says, hey Kevin, can I get a shout out to Chanitza? Also, do you have tips for getting off the lift without falling? James from New York. Awesome, shout out to Chanista. And yeah, tips for getting off the lift without falling. I would say practice lots of 1 foot skating. The more like skating you can practice with 1 foot, even find like a really mellow part of the slope where you can just go down with 1 foot and practice. The more that you can just get that 1 foot practice going, then yeah, it'll make the chairlift really easy. But yeah, thanks for the support. Shout out Chanitza. I hope I'm saying that right. And yeah, thanks again, man. James in New York. And Pat Proximity 14 with the super chat. What's up, Kevin? Any plans for Chile this summer? Yeah, so at the moment we're definitely looking into heading down to Chile. It's tough. Yeah, we're trying to make plans. I think we're definitely gonna get down to Oregon for like July, get back to New Zealand and probably Australia. But yeah, Chile is one. It would be amazing to visit Chile. It is really expensive to fly down to Chile, so that is one of the things that's holding us back. But yeah, we're gonna explore the idea. Just need to do some more research, look into it. But Chile looks amazing. Awesome, guys. Ooh, and we have a question from Van Is Land Surf. How do you rate Revelstoke, and any plans for kicking Horse or other BC mountains? So no plans at the moment, but how would I rate Revelstoke? I would say park-wise, the park is nice, but it's very small. So I'd give the park probably a low rating, just because it's like it's a long time to ride to the park, and it's a short park, and then it's a long ride out. But the mountain itself is definitely like the biggest, steepest mountain I think I've rode, and so yeah, I would rate it. I don't know how to rate it, like out of 10, but like 4. It's like probably the most, honestly, one of the most advanced mountains I've ever ridden. So I would put it up there as, I gotta put it up there high in terms of difficulty. Very difficult mountain, steep, difficult. And Big Chungus says you should visit us in Utah. Yeah, I would love to get out to Utah. And Zach says, yeah, it should have factory wax. Is that good out of the box? I've actually heard from some people recently that snowboard companies are, because they're using more eco-friendly materials, that you do want to wax the board out of the box, because it may have dried out a little bit just on the shelves, or just the products they're using now, they're not as they're more environmentally friendly, so they're a little bit less durable to like not holding their wax at the start. So I think some advice I've heard is that you want to wax a new board. All right, guys, just gonna scroll down a little bit. Oh, we got Expat Proximity 14 with the super chat. Kevin, have you ever heard of the Burton Verdict? That's what I'm currently riding. Look for a new one considering the Capita DOA. Any thoughts? I've never actually heard of the Burton Verdict, so that's pretty cool that you have one. The Capita DOA, that's like kind of a good all-mountain and park board. It's kind of like a board that's got some stiffness to it, but it's not too stiff that you can't press it, and it's a fun one in the park. I would say also check out the GNU space case. Yeah, that's a pretty nice one as well. It's the one I've been riding recently and been really loving the space case too. All right, guys, just gonna scroll down a little bit. So we got Adam Bad Riders. What's up, man? He says, shouting out all the homies, hashtag D-Week Camber podcast. Nice, man. I gotta go listen to this podcast. Awesome, dude. Thanks for the support, Adam. And we got Niall watching from the Netherlands. Shout out to the Netherlands. And Hunter's watching from NC, North Carolina. Tell TJ at Mountain, the spot in my state. We should link up if y'all go. Yeah, TJ like grew up snowboarding at App, so it'd be awesome to get out there. Our friend Garrett as well. Jez says, have you ridden many Rome boards? What do you think of them? I'm on the Gangplank in Oz. Can't wait for this season. I've never ridden a Rome board, so no Rome yet. Yeah. Joel Pangang watching from the Philippines. Awesome. What's up, Joel? And we got Robbie Berry watching from Paquoson, Virginia. Nice. Cookie's watching from Melbourne, Australia. Lots of Melbourne on here. Rich H with a good question. Does weight play into getting a wide board or just boot size? Yeah, definitely it's just the boot size. So unless you're riding powder. Like if you're powder riding, a wider board will help you float, especially like, yeah, if you're heavier. But in terms of the width of the board for just riding, it's mainly your boot size for sure. So like over, I'd say like 11 or over, you want to check out a wider board. So Carmelo is also shading out David Jones. Yeah, get better, man. And Tello is tuning in from Government Camp, Oregon. Awesome. Yeah, I miss that place. I love Government Camp. How's the snow down there? Spicy Pepper says your tutorials for beginners are super helpful. Awesome, glad that they helped. And we got one, says, what's up dudes, checking in from Niseko. Epic POW in Kairoro yesterday. Awesome. Yeah, I miss Niseko. Yeah, thanks for tuning in from Niseko. I love how we've got like, we've got people inputting from all over the world in all these cool spots, so it's really great to hear. Daniel Z says, where are you, Kevin? So I'm like just beside Gastown in Vancouver. And we got Ragnar watching from Norway. Grayson says, hey, are you going to make any more rails out of PVC pipe or metal? I'm building one myself and I need a role model. Watching from Michigan, by the way. Yeah, we actually have some PVC pipe that is just sitting in Chris's garage, and we'll have to make that into something soon. Yeah, love making the backyard setups. We made one when we were in Niseko, Japan. Had a great time building the backyard setup, and it's definitely one of my favorite things to do too. Just like building a kicker or getting a rail together. It's so much fun. So hopefully we'll get that going for you, and hopefully we get enough. We need to get some snow in the valley in Whistler so that we can have some snow to like build some features with. And Joel says, yo, would you buy an Icon pass as a beginner? I would if I was going to use it enough, for sure. Yeah, if you know you're gonna go more than like, if you're going more than 5 or 6 days, you know, you're getting into like a dozen or more days a season, then definitely the season's pass. Yeah, if it works out, if you're getting your money's worth, I would definitely pick one up. Jay Lee, yes on pineapple on pizza, or is that a no? Yeah, pineapple is one of my favorite toppings for sure. I think I get pineapple on every pizza. It's one of my favorites. And we got Stan Deeks with the super chat. He says, advice on getting more speed, flat or edge. Yeah, I feel like going flat, you don't have a lot of control. So I like to stay on a little bit of an edge when riding with speed. It's just gonna help you to stay in control, just being on a slight edge for sure. And then the more speed, the more of an edge I think you wanna stay on. I find myself trying to challenge myself once in a while, but trying to be completely flat based. And you can do it, but it is more difficult just to stay balanced. All right, just gonna scroll down a little bit, guys. Sorry if I'm missing any questions, trying to get to as many as possible. Justin Bernardo with the super chat, he says suggestions for good places to ride mid-April. Yeah, mid-April, I know there's quite a lot of places open. Whistler, the park in Whistler is still there, and there's the World Ski and Snowboard Festival happening in Whistler in mid-April. You've got Mammoth Mountain, California. I think Bear Mountain is open until April 14th. Down in Oregon, you've got, yeah, Timberline. They've got a really good park set up in Oregon at Timberline. I believe Mount Bachelor in Oregon is still open. I would just like, yeah, look online, see what's still open, what still has snow, and go there. But there's quite a lot of options on the west coast of North America for sure. But my favorite, probably Whistler is the best, but Whistler also can get very busy. They do have a long park. If you're looking for some place that's a bit quieter, Oregon at Timberline is definitely great park, and it's a lot quieter. And they also do a spring pass at Mount Hood, or sorry, not Mount Hood, yeah, at Timberline. They do a spring pass, so I think it's like $99 for the spring. So check that out. Adam Bad Riders, getting that hobo life vibe. Trains hard in the back. Yeah, we got just like this train field behind us here. Oh, here we go. Kind of got like got some graffiti happening. Yo, Reggie, what's up, Reds Cap? Where are you heading to? Not heading to anywhere today. We're just down in the city, running some errands, checking out, mixing things up a bit down in the city, visiting my family and that. My mom and sister live in Vancouver, so yeah, that's why I'm down here today. And we got Joel Pancras with the $2 super chat. Would you buy the icon pass as a beginner? Yeah, just got to that one before, Joel. But yeah, if you think if you're gonna use it enough to get your money's worth, I definitely would. Jack Rippers watching from Oceanside, California. Awesome. Neil, I think the name is, he says, hey Kevin, I have a problem with the 50-50 to 180. The 50-50 works, but when it comes to the 180 at the end, I rotate 90. But I stop rotating and fall. Do you have a solution for that? So let's let this train go by a little bit. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, the trick is with like those 180s off is really like turning your upper body as much as you can in the direction that you want a 180 off. And then as you come off, really twisting your hips. So it's something that, you could probably practice it, like practice doing 180s without the box first, and then take it to the box. Boxes can be a little bit more difficult to 180 off of because you don't have a lot of leverage. Your board is kind of like flat on the box, so you don't really have I think it's actually easier on a rail, because on a rail you kind of have something to push off of, but with the box you have nothing to push off of, you're just sliding. But yeah, the best you can do is to really wind up your, so for the front side 180 off, turning your shoulders as much as you can forward, and then twisting your board underneath you as you come off. But yeah, it's a difficult one. Good luck with that. But maybe I can get a tutorial out on that for you soon. That's a good one. Awesome, guys. So we got Carrie Pierce with the super chat. Thanks, Carrie. Have you tried any Sandbox goggles? Hashtag the week. Nice. Yeah, I've actually, Sandbox has given me a few pairs of goggles. Last year in Hakuba, Japan, I was actually wearing Sandbox goggles the whole time, and I really liked them. They were great. The problem for me with Sandbox goggles is that I've kind of got like a large face and head, so they were just like slightly too small. But other than that, the lenses were great. I thought the style was really cool. I would definitely recommend them to somebody that had just like a normal size head. I feel like if you've got a normal size head, they're perfect. And Daniel Pincher, yo Kevin, how are you doing in Hakuba right now? Awesome conditions, bluebird day today. Awesome, Daniel, man, I'm so jealous. Yeah, I love Hakuba, such a cool spot. Blake says 30 years old and learning more than ever. Thanks for all the tutorials. Awesome, Blake. Yeah, that's amazing, man. And Nestor says, any plans for Alaska soon? We want to get to Alaska. I feel like we need to do some research into that, but it seems like an amazing place. We need to email some heli boarding companies and get on to some Alaska trips. That would be incredible. And Pat Proximity 14 with another super chat. Do you like any hockey teams, Canucks or any other sports? What sport did you play growing up? Really good question, man. the sport I played most competitively growing up was definitely baseball. I was like every summer, every weekend, almost every day I was playing baseball. So that was my main sport growing up. I did also play hockey in the winter. I was a Toronto Maple Leafs fan when I was in Toronto, and then when I moved out to BC, I started getting into watching the Canucks. But I was just thinking about this today. Haven't really watched the Canucks play any hockey in a few years now. So I've kind of lost my connection to hockey and watching hockey. But I watch the UFC from time to time. So I'd say like that's my only kind of sport outlet besides snowboarding. I'll tune into the UFC once in a while. But yeah, thanks for the support, man. And Martin says, what size Sandbox helmet do you have? So I've got like the large, I think it's a large / extra large Sandbox Legend helmet, and I actually have to take out some of the not the protection, but just like the padding that you can kind of customize. So I take all my padding out, and that fits. All right, just gonna scroll down, guys, so I don't get too far behind. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We got Cameron watching from Maine, and Trevor says I've been a huge fan. I live in Vancouver and been to Whistler, and have been to Whistler a lot, but I've yet to meet you. Well, yeah, Trevor, man, if you see me on the mountain, just come up and say hi. It'd be awesome to meet you, man. And we got Cormy watching from Dublin, Ireland. Awesome. I met like a crew of Irish guys in Revelstoke actually, so that was really cool. Dean says, what's your favorite rocker snowboard? So full rocker, complete full rocker. My favorite one would probably be the Arbor Westmark rocker. That one's pretty solid. It's like still stiff enough to that you get some control, even though that it's full rocker, and it's got the Arbor grip tech as well. So you got those bumps kind of along the edge, some additional contact points that kind of help to claw at the snow over ice. So yeah, those are pretty nice. Awesome, guys. Steezy Health says, how tall are you? I'm 6'3.5", so pretty tall for a snowboarder. And Jeff says, do you have any tips for learning how to ride switch? Yeah, definitely when you're riding switch, you take it back to just an easier slope. The thing with switch is that you can already do the heels and you can do toes. It's just about learning to point that new front foot down the hill for like 1 second. So if you take bring yourself like someplace where it's like an easy slope where you can actually just like let your board go straight down the hill in that new way for that 1 second, you've already got the heels and toes. So that's the only new thing you're adding in there. And so just to set yourself up to be successful, get onto like a really mellow slope. And Cameron says, my dad says hi. All right, cool. What's up to Cameron's dad? Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Cameron Tardif, thanks for watching, man. All right, just gonna scroll down a little bit, just make sure I'm all caught up here. And we got Brandon says, ever been to Mount Bachelor? Yeah, I've been to Mount Bachelor twice. And yeah, one of my favorite mountains, like lots of tons of great tree riding. I love how it's a mountain where you can like get up to the peak and then ride down 360 degrees. And then the town of Bend has got to be like one of the coolest towns around. You can just like, you go from snow and snowboarding and you drive to the town and it's like a nice spring or summer day. So definitely one of my favorite places to go. All right, so we got Red's Cap. Are you in another country? No, man, still in Canada. Revelstoke, we were in Canada too, but yeah, Jackson Hole is in the States, and no plans on leaving Canada anytime soon, for snowboarding at least. I think I'm going down to LA for a short trip in like a week, But yeah, we'll see. Not sure where we're going snowboarding next. All right. And David B says, Kevin, do you ride the Capita Ultra Fear when TJ reviewed it? I have not yet ridden the Ultra Fear, but I know that our friend Yannick has the Ultra Fear, and yeah, I think, yeah, TJ's got a review up, but I didn't get a chance to ride that board. And shout out to Christian Valdez. Thanks for watching, man. Ethan Clapp wants to know, are you going to Japan again? So probably not this winter, but next year, I think definitely gonna head back to Japan. It was just such a cool place. Had an amazing trip with all the guys there, and yeah, loved it. Awesome, guys. So I think we're gonna call the live chat there. Just a quick reminder too, guys, that we have the Snowboardprocamp beanies back in stock. I got another 200 in, and I think we've already sold about 15 or 20 of them. So if you want to check out a Snowboardprocamp beanie, got a link for them in the description of the video. And yeah, it'd be awesome if you guys picked one up and just repped Snowboardprocamp. And yeah, these ones are made just slightly thicker than the last ones, just for winter. But I think the next time I order some, I may get a different color or a different style. So if you guys have any suggestions too, it'd be awesome to hear. We got one more super chat from Wayne Kerr. Favorite place to ride in Canada? It's gotta still be Whistler. Whistler is pretty cool, but yeah, Revelstoke was amazing. But I feel like Whistler, maybe because of the terrain park, you have a few more options in terms of where you can ride. And a shout out from a Zimbabwean fan. Awesome, Sean Neal from Zimbabwe. Amazing, thanks for watching. Yeah, guys, thank you guys all for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you guys get out, do some snowboarding. And yeah, thank you guys so much for the support. I'll see you guys all on the Friday chat next week. And stay tuned, there's yeah, gonna be some new videos coming up on the channel this weekend. Thanks, guys, have a great weekend. We'll see you guys next time.